Well, it's Sunday. And with the news of Kellen Moore, you know it's
another one.
Mm-hmm.
Run it up.
OC, what's up, man? In the building. Let's talk.
Man, let's get into this. You know, we got a lot to talk about in this subject. You guys get into the building, man. Follow us. Like, share, subscribe. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports for the best, the latest, the greatest in Cowboy sports and news. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow me, TheOC100, on Twitter. Kellen Moore is no longer the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. Oh my. What an interesting Sunday.
Oh, interesting indeed. So yeah, we gonna talk about it, man. This is big deal. Super big deal, man. So let's just kind of talk about it from this standpoint. The lessons. Oh man, that's a form. It should say from. But see, let me show you how cool my technology is. I can change this even on my thumbnail. You hear me? But see, yeah, but it's the lessons from this whole thing. Cause see, some people want to, think we go come in here and we go be like overly celebrating. That ain't the case. It's just business. It's just business.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, man, we go talk about how do we improve as an organization. What are some of the things that's getting ready to happen? It's gonna be interesting. Trust me, this is the show you want to be a part of. Save this one. This is gonna be history in the making. Let's go! And look how that just changed. Let's go, man. We'll be right back. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Yeah, man. All season.
Yes, sir.
Where championships are won.
Yes, sir.
The off season where championships are won, OC.
Yes, sir.
Come on, run it up.
Run it up.
Exactly how to get there. And if you like this, shout out to Mickey for the $2 super chat. Boss, we did it. Pookie is gone.
Wait.
I see you, Mickey.
Wait.
Thanks for the love, Mickey.
Wait.
Thanks for the love.
Wait.
Mickey coming in.
Wait.
Hot. Mickey coming in hot. She coming into the show smoking hot.
Yeah, Mickey stay hot. Man. Mickey go hard. She's a trooper.
Hey, this is like Cobra Kai, Boss Cowboy. You know what they say on Cobra Kai?
What they say, big dog?
There's no mercy in the dojo.
Man, no mercy.
No mercy in the dojo.
Let's go.
But look, guys, as you come into the building, man, do not forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button, man. Please follow us for the latest and greatest in Cowboys content, sports, and news. Queen Chase with the $2 super chat. Salute Queen Chase. Run it up. Fire, fire, fire. Thank you, Queen, so much. Good to have you in the building with us tonight. Boss Cowboy.
Run it up.
Man, like you could listen, man. This is what this was about. This is what it's about. The optimism and the hope is a commodity for the Dallas Cowboys. It's something that they had to protect. And I'm gonna be the first to admit that even with all the public outrage, I still didn't think it was gonna happen. But this says a lot about our organization, that they have some self-reflection. But this can go a whole lot of ways, and we're gonna try to take it every way possible, which way to talk about the lessons to learn from this. So obviously I'm interested in your intro, then we go get right into this content.
Yeah, so shout out to Mickey for another $2 super chat. And salute to Boss Cowboy for really putting 10 toes down. Mickey says that your consistency has prevailed. And you know what?
Wow.
A lot of credit to Boss Cowboy for being by himself and being a person, man, that believed and saw what he saw and reported as he saw it. Tons and tons of videos, as you guys know, tons of content on Kellen Moore. And I'm not celebrating his firing. I'm celebrating the betterment for the Dallas Cowboys, because obviously Kellen Moore has a family. Kellen Moore needs a job. Kellen Moore needs to earn income, just like all of us do. So I'm not, off with his head and all that type of stuff, whereas we wish him ill will. No, we wish him well. I think that he'll get another opportunity because he's did enough in his career with the Dallas Cowboys to merit getting an opportunity somewhere else. I just think in the scenario of Mike McCarthy and where this team is right now, it probably was best for a lot of reasons we go talk about in this show for them to part ways. And we go talk a lot too, guys. So stay tuned tomorrow morning. I'm gonna drop some content about the 5 key players that the Cowboys need to look at, and what did the Cowboys learn from Philadelphia winning the NFC and NFC Championship and being in the Super Bowl. So y'all look out for that content in the AM, because that's gonna be scorching hot, just like this show.
Oh man, it's gonna be scorching hot. And this changed my content plan for the week too. And it's gonna be good. I got some good stuff, because this is, trust me, this is saying way more than most people see. And trust me, this is a good thing. And I want to kind of first start by saying this, to your point. This was best for both parties. This was best for both of them. It wasn't fair to either one of those guys. I did a show on this yesterday where I basically said the arranged marriage between Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy was doomed from the start. It was doomed. It wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna work because they was clearly on 2 different pages. So a lot of us, we got caught in option routes, West Coast system, running the ball, passing the ball. Now go down to the basics. As a marriage, do we see eye to eye? And they didn't. They was just not seeing eye to eye. So this is one example. Check this out.
Like a running game, the mix between Tony and Zeke, 13 carries for Zeke, Tony, and 15 for Zeke. Is that kind of what you want?
Oh, I think it's a winning formula. I think it's, really stems off what, we just talked about. It's, you got two guys that are future players. They need to touch the ball. Whether we throw it to them, pitch it to them, hand it to them. It makes no difference to me personally. But
and then the same week.
I think it's just understanding there's different styles to every game. And
Watch. Hold on. Here it is. Hold on. Here we go. Come on now.
Earlier in your play calling career, were you as persistent with the run when you're kind of beating your head against the wall like that?
Everything inside of me wanted to throw the football the entire Sunday. So
no, that's the wrong
you
one.
learn, you grow.
That's the wrong one.
I think it's flavor. There's going to be games where we're going to need to throw it. There's a lot of games and there's a lot of different approaches to this thing, and so as we go, we got to be able.
So you hear him talking about a lot of different approaches to this thing, right?
There's a lot of different approaches to this thing, and so.
So you got him saying there's a lot of approaches to this thing, and you got Mike McCarthy saying the exact same week.
Like a running game, the mix between Tony and Zeke, 13 carries for Zeke, Tony, and 15 for Zeke. Is that kind of what you want?
Oh, I think it's a winning formula. I think it's, really stems off what, we just talked about.
So yeah, OC, it's impossible, bro. It was just impossible.
Yeah, man. How can 2 walk together unless they agree? There's no way to do business, to do life, to do anything, man, unless you agree.
Yeah.
And look, a house divided against itself is always fall. And I always said that, hey, 2 visions is division, and so that's what you have going on here.
Yeah, 2
you
visions.
have some division going on, but just to jump into some more depth about this, I don't believe that the Cowboys organization really wanted to do this. they conceded.
They did.
They conceded.
Yeah, they
They
conceded.
had to give. They had to. I see you.
You going ahead. You going ahead. We gonna get that. I know where you're going.
I know.
Get there.
I'm gonna draw it back.
Okay,
That's the
go
team.
ahead.
I'm gonna
Go
draw
ahead.
it back.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, when you look at this scenario and you look at what happened with the firing of the comrades, the confidants, the competent pieces that Mike McCarthy brought into this building, and then now, several days later, we have this. It's extremely interesting where this organization is going, and the seriousness and the urgency that now this really places on us trying to move forward to be a championship level team. So that part is positive. That part is really positive.
Very positive. Very positive. So another example of them going in totally different directions was the option routes, right? So, and this is important. Let's just kind of take our time through this one, OC. Let's just kind of walk through this one. Because, see, it was well, let's just play it, then we go through it. Here we go.
Thrower.
Before I get into this, I did want to make one small correction to what you said. I wasn't standing alone against Kellen Moore. I know I did the most content, but I wasn't alone. Shout out to people like West Coast, because West Coast actually was the first to be against Kellen Moore, because he was very strong on running down ball, and that made Kellen Moore pass addiction an enemy to West Coast. He was the first. I was the one that started seeing the system breakdown, and then Jay Tuck then found out that it was actually a name for that system, and it was a no identity offense. And then Scott also did a lot of work. I just want to give others credit in the community. That I just want to pause and say that real quick, because it was a community effort on this one, and I really go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna double down on this. You did the most work on it. So,
no doubt.
In my opinion, you did the most work on it. I know.
No doubt.
Yeah, I know what people say. So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I just want to give people credit, because I just want to, be sensitive to the community and their work.
Absolutely.
In this
Absolutely.
endeavor.
Salute to all those brothers.
Yeah, salute to all my brothers who actually we held hands on that one. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but going back to this is important. Check this out.
Concept in the past.
I heard this.
A lot of great questions today, but this is my favorite. So we get to talk a little ball here. But no,
you see him light up. OC, look at his face. Mm-hmm. Look at his face. Stop. Hold on.
He got happy.
He got happy, bro. Listen, when he brought up, dog, listen.
A lot of great questions today, but this is my favorite.
Watch
so
his
we get to
face.
talk a little ball here.
Look at his face.
No, I've never been a big option route thrower. Your concept in the past.
See, this is where another lesson that we got to learn from this, OC, is sometimes we got to do the job that the media is not doing. Mm-hmm. I'm serious, bro. Like, we consider new media. You know what I'm saying? But I picked up on the divide right there. Jay Tuck picked up on the divide right there. Now, they sitting in the room and didn't pick up that he was clearly saying, I'm not agreeing with what's going on with my OC. And they did not seize the moment. Can we pause for a second and talk about that?
Yeah, and Data Yoga with the $5 super chat. Boss Cowboy Sports did it. All credit to you guys. So salute to you, Data Yoda. And then also salute to you, Ray T, for the $1.99 super chat, man. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, appreciate it. And we did it as a community. Yeah, I know I did the most work, but it was a lot. We fought together on this one. Shout out to the community as well. But let's talk about that, OC. Come on, let's just hang out on that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, he lit up. And he almost, in a way, if you look at his face,
yeah, he lit up.
He was laughing at Kellen. He was like, okay, let's talk some real football here. Like, basically saying that this is the innuendo, if I can help you to see behind the curtain.
Yeah.
That this is gimmicky concept stuff.
Ooh.
Basically, in his mind, That's not real football.
Ooh.
That's why he said we need to run the ball, like basically, the analogy I said, there's no mercy in the dojo. Well, what did Mr. Miyagi try to teach his student? He said, wax on, wax off, paintbrush, up, down, up, down. Why? Because he's trying to teach them fundamentals. What Mike McCarthy was really trying to impress upon Kellen Moore, that it was a hard thing to get through, was just the fundamentals of just executing a offense in a way that was sound. And that was the disconnect. And he thought that he wasn't being creative enough. And Mike McCarthy's like, no, it's not that I'm not being creative enough. I don't believe you're being sound enough. And then it showed up in the big games. And I dropped a video about that. Thank you guys for the support, right? When I talked about the real reason why the Cowboys lost to San Francisco, right? I talked about the type of offense that the Dallas Cowboys need to run to be a Super Bowl championship team. Thank you guys for the support on that video. If you hadn't checked it out, you need to check it out, because I get into the breakdown of calling different plays versus different fronts, and not just being willy-nilly on concepts, Boss Cowboy, but actually having a rhyme and a reason on why you create certain plays and you run certain routes and you do certain things. It has to be a rhyme and a reason to it. And in some instances with Kellen, it wasn't.
Yeah, man. So, so the thing is like a lot of people, they'll look at new media, because that's what we consider. We consider new media. At some point, you got to start learning that we not inferior to nobody. That's a lesson to learn from this, because we was clearly saying loudly that there's a clear divide between Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore. But most people, OC, was like, you guys are just YouTubers. You guys, they're the number one offense, boss.
Finish him.
And we over here like,
oh, hell no.
No, sir. No. Like, if I'm just using my common sense, this man just said publicly that he's not a fan of option routes itself. Now, and then he took it to another level and said, I've never been in a system that ran option routes this aggressive. So not only was he saying I don't like it as a concept, he was saying on top of that, my OC doing it more than I've ever seen it done. And let's also speak out and just say, for the most part, the media ignored it.
Oh, he took it a step further than even what you said, Boss Cowboy.
Yeah, talk.
Because he also said, it's no dibbling, and I'm paraphrasing him. He said, you got to live in that world. If you do option routes, you got to really live in that world. Ooh. It's no dibbling down. He didn't remember him saying that.
Hold on, let me play it. We go verify it. Forget opinions. Let's go.
A lot of great questions today, but this is my favorite. So we get to talk a little ball here. But no, I've never been a big option route thrower or concept in the past.
I can't get enough of it. We got McCarthy and stereo.
Yeah, it's a little weird hearing your voice.
I hate that part that they was laughing. I swear, I hate that part. Go.
But option. To answer your question, option routes take a lot of time. You know, and option, if you're in the traditional West Coast offense, it's. I tell you, we need to win this week, because this thing's turning into a zoo in here. But
he knew he was giving them gold. He knew he giving them media gold, and they didn't do nothing with it. That should have been breaking news. Mike McCarthy talks about not being a fan of Kellen Moore's aggressive option route system. They in there.
Shout out to Kelvin Brown for the $2 super chat, man. Salute, thank you. Go ahead, boss.
But go up to your part. Here we go.
Yeah. But option routes. So they take a lot of time, Michael. Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, if you're going to run option routes, you need to live in that world. That's been my experience.
There you go. That's what you was
gotta
talking
what?
about.
Live in that world.
Expound on that.
Yeah, he means that if you have an offense that you are going to run option routes, you got to be fully committed to playing that style of football, because one toe in, one toe out, running a lot of other mesh concepts in between, quote unquote, and I'm going to infer what I believe this really means, it's too much and it's too confusing. That's what I think. It's too, because then you lose talent like Tober, who's completely shell-shocked, like you put him in a psych ward and put electrodes to his brain and fried his brain where he can't even think. You know what I mean? Dude can't even think. So I'm saying, that's why you said you got to live in that world. You got to be all in, or you got to like scrap that. And he said, quote unquote, notice what he did with his hands. He teed it up. He said, traditional West Coast offense. Did you notice that? And he doubled down again. Option routes take a lot of time. He said it twice.
He did. We got CFT in the building. What's up, Rome? Rome in the building, bro.
What's up, Rome? What's up, brother? So yeah. So he's actually letting you know off the top rope that these are some of the weaknesses of this system, without directly saying it. This is some of the weaknesses of this system. A, these option routes take a lot of time. B, these options routes take too long in the NFL, and you can get your quarterback sacked if you play against good pass rushing teams. Hint, hint, hint. Number 3, if you run option routes, you got to live in that world, because if you try to throw a bunch of stuff on top of it, then you confuse the crap out of everybody and people mess up and your quarterback throws interceptions because you have to throw with so much anticipation. All right. Number 3. Number four. Let me get the last one. Number four.
All right.
And this falls outside of what we would see and what I have learned in my whole 20-some-odd year career in the NFL as a traditional West Coast concept. Boom, There you go. He told you everything you need to know.
He did. So check this out. Let me keep going, because it gets worse.
You can't dab on it. You know, option routes are really not part of the old traditional West Coast offense. I've had quarterbacks in the past that didn't really like them, and it's really about the connection that they have with the receiver. I've been in systems where only certain guys run them. You know, this is the.
But he was ripping Kellen Moore before our eyes.
Man, let's slow down and break that down, boss. Let's break that down.
Because it's a little different listening to this in hindsight, huh? When you listen to this in hindsight, bro, this is. Go ahead, OC.
No, he takes it a step further. He said again. Said it again. This is not a part of traditional West Coast concept.
Yep, he sure did.
I know, quote unquote, a quarterbacks, maybe Dak, who really didn't like it.
But slow down, OC. I gotta add something to what you said, bro. It's more than that. It's the fact of who are the quarterbacks that he coached. When you add that to the equation and you look at them Hall of Fame dudes he coached and who he referring to, who he was letting his he was. And what's sad is the media didn't jump on this, OC.
Oh, hell no.
Go ahead, though, bro.
They
Go
did
ahead.
not.
Go ahead.
No, they didn't see it. He was really completely undressing it in the most professional way that he could. Right? Because he goes on to mention quarterbacks, plural, didn't like this. And typically you have option routes to maybe a receiver. But before that, he says it depends on the connection with that quarterback and the receiver. In other words, you got to have a quarterback and a receiver with enough seasoned experience and trust where they know each other so well that you can execute this effectively.
I.e. Tony Romo and Witten. That type of connection. You know what I mean? Where both guys were smart and both guys could read a defense. They was able to do this. I.e. Schultz and Dak. But when you tried to spread this all around, bro, it was wump. Straight up.
Correct.
Let me hit this
And if
button.
you don't have it, and if you're trying to do this, Stargazer with the 499, Stargazer Sports with the 499 Super Chat. Boss, our voice matters. Trojan Horse is gone. Yeah. Salute Stargazer Sports. Appreciate the support, my friend. But listen, here's the deal, man, with this thing, right? So the inverse of that, to your point, is that if you try to do this with everybody, it's not going to work because the quarterback does not have that connection with everyone. Now, Mike McCarthy goes on to expound even more.
Yeah.
He says, you may do this with maybe a receiver. And then you saw how he looked and he scrunched his face down and he looks like this. Like, I don't understand why we were doing this with a bunch of receivers. That's what he was saying.
That's what
without saying.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying.
Let's replay it. Let's replay it and see that he was clearly warning us. This is also why he should be Coach of the Year. Because, see, this is what people don't understand, and I've been saying this. For us to be 12-5 with this level of fighting and interior fighting, bro, it was amazing, the leadership job that he did, because he was having mutiny in his own organization. Now, hold on, let me show these faces you're talking about. Here we go.
Like them, and it's really about the connection that they have with the receiver. I've been in systems where only certain guys run them. You know, this is the most aggressive system that I've been in, as far as many people that do run the option routes. And so I think you see our commitment at practice. We practice them.
With as many people that run the option route.
Right. This is why.
In other words,
this is why I don't understand how people don't understand how Dak is gonna be better without this. Because I see a lot of people, Dak don't got no excuses no more. This should make you have more faith in your quarterback, because your quarterback was asked to read 3 and 4 people at the same time, doing potentially 2 or 3 different things, and did it, OC, and he did it.
Yeah. Tavis Banks with the 999 Super Chat. I see you, Keystone. Let's not forget Dak was at his best with multiple receivers as his rookie season. Yeah, he was really, really good, man. That's a great comment, Keystone.
All right, so hold on real quick. All right, so this is a couple of things we talking about, the lessons from this. Because this is very important. This is a show you're going to want to save. So,
Richard Coleman with the 499 Super Chat. Hey, boss, is this the first domino to go? Mike could be next. DC be the head coach and we bring in an OC? Huh. Interesting thought, but I don't see it that way, Richard.
But
it could.
We
I don't
far
see
from
it that way, though.
We far from that right now. Right now, this is more so confirmation that they basically admit that Mike was right the whole time. That's what's really going on. Which is also good, because it's also good self-reflection of our organization. Because, see, a lot of us, we didn't even think we thought they wasn't going to get rid of Kellen Moore, because it's too many times we've all witnessed a pattern of stubbornness with our organization, especially with Jason Garrett. This was having a Jason Garrett smell to it. It was looking like you had your inside guy, you had your Trojan horse, you had your guy you could control. You could tell him to under-talk at Amari, and he would. You could tell him to give Zeke his touches, and he would. So most of us was like, these Joneses, here we go again. It's clear in their face they need to get rid of this dude. And it ain't even about the X's and O's. It's about this guy's clearly in a different direction than your head coach. Just the common sense. And so, but they admitting it. Now, this is another lesson we got to learn. This is the pattern of our organization. They like Thomas, they got to see it until they see it themselves. What do I mean by that? So, going into the offseason when we lost to San Fran, remember that we were saying we needed to be more physical, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We were saying we needed to commit to running the ball. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Notice that Kellen Moore's announced that he's been let go after the Philly game. Now, I heard Stephen Jones say, OC, hear me out. I heard Stephen Jones say we wasn't committed to the run as much as we needed to be. He wanted to see us more 60-40. Now, you'll get stat nerds that'll say, we was pretty balanced. See, when you trying to compare us to the league, that's a bad thought. Because the league itself trended to being more pass oriented. But our team is built to run the ball. So based on our identity and the lack of having weapons, our best weapons was clearly Pollard and Zeke. And we should have always got behind that. And that's what Mike McCarthy was saying. And so when you see in the game that we lost in the divisional round, the rushing attempts was only 22 again. So then the stat nerds will say, but boss, we only average 3.5, boss. You can't do nothing with that, boss. You need a higher average. Well, let me just click on what just happened with Philly. Oh, 44 attempts with less. With 3.4. As a boss, you need 5. No, they committed to the run, like a lot of us been saying, and you see them blow out the team that was competitive to you. This is saying that Dallas needed to see it, and Kellen Moore, honestly, you made a mistake. You went against front office. Jared was telling you to run it more. Mike McCarthy was telling you to run it more. Even Steven was telling you to run it more. Then they watched Philly go to the Super Bowl doing what they asked you to do. Son, you gotta go.
Woo! Put some fires in the chest for that, because that was smoking hot by Boss Cowboy. 100% measured Kool-Aid right there, boss. And you can't say nothing about that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it was the run game that beat San Francisco into submission. And I put that on Twitter. They beat the 49ers into submission, and they didn't like it. B-Bird with the 49 super chat. I like that Kellen Moore is gone, but we don't want Mike McCarthy to call plays.
We gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about that. See, that's
so. Yeah. So here's the deal. Here's the deal, man. It's not in the playoffs. It's defense and it's running game. It's defense and it's running game. I've been saying this for years. People got to get this, because at the end of the day, it's a football, regardless of what you say or think, is a physical game. And it's not about your average. It's about the big plays you get and what you affect on the other team because of that. You control time of possession. You disrupt rhythm. You psychologically beat down the defense. You psychologically discourage people like Nick Bosa and Armstead, who like to get upfield and rush the passer. Nick Bosa didn't do a doggone thing. And he didn't make no tackles in the run game. They trapping him, hitting him, chugging him, throwing him around. Man, look, I'm telling you, you control the tempo and cadence and attitude of that game when you can run the ball. And what you gonna do with Hurts on the RPO? He's one of the best running backs in the league.
Can't do nothing.
So at the end of the day,
and
man,
they average less than us.
Exactly. So the fact, if we would have done that, we would have controlled time of possession, and we would have eventually wore them down and pop a few big runs. And that's what you need in the playoffs. You just need to pop a couple of big ones. You don't have to pop them all the time. You just need a couple big runs, and those are going to be the back-breaking things to make the difference in the game. And that's what people don't really get when you talk about commit to the run.
Right. That's what they don't get. And say, I ain't trying to hear this stuff that they saying. Oh, Philly had 3 fresh running backs. I don't care. Their average was less than us. But the difference was they stayed with it. And if you go look at that game, we was controlling San Fran on the ground. When we was running, when we had those running drives, we ate San Fran lunch. We was taking the life out of them. Literally. Yeah, that's the difference. So, see, some of y'all, I see what it is with some of us. We like to hold on to bad doctrines. Okay, all right, listen, y'all. I'm gonna be transparent right now, okay? I have not always
Michael Williams with a $4.99 super chat. Let's say Mike McCarthy call plays. What can we expect from his staff?
I get to that. We gonna get to that.
Yeah,
we gonna get to that. That and trust me, it's good news. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's fantastic news. But see, this is the deal, man. I gotta go back and just kind of talk about it. I gotta be transparent right now. I have not always been a running down ball advocate. Matter of fact, one time West Coast hit me up before a show and he was like, I sent you a hat, bro. Can you wear it on the show? What do you think I told him, OC?
No.
I told my boy no. I said, nah, bro, I don't believe in it. I said, I'm not going to support something I don't believe in. He said, all right. But he know he can trust me though, because if I say I ain't with it, I ain't with it because I don't believe in it. Because at that time, I was saying we needed to be an adaptable style offense. Because at that time, we had Amari, Gallup, and we had CeeDee Lamb. None had injuries. So I was like, we should be able to beat you whatever makes the most sense. So if you got a weak secondary, we can commit to the run, but if your secondary beat up, we can air you out, and we can even use the pass game like a run game because that's where we got the matchups. But then something happened, and this is my advice to some of y'all. Things changed, which then made me have to change. So when we lost Amari Cooper, especially, it tilted. Your best athletes now became your backfield. So if I would have still been like, let's be adaptable to who? An emergency CeeDee Lamb? To Noah Brown? That's no. So guess what? Then your boy went and put on the hat and was like, Wes, run the damn ball. So sometimes as facts change, we should change. And sometimes we start off wrong and we gotta go to what's right when the case is clear. Am I tripping, bro? No, I'm not, man. Let me just go and get to this next point. From the lessons we gotta learn, it's less about credit and more about truth. That's before we get to that. Let's talk about this first. It's less about credit and more about truth.
And before we get into that, Boss Cowboy, let's just take a light break, man. We got 443 of y'all in the building. Man, please take a quick moment and hit that like button, man. It does a whole lot for the channel. It just helps us tremendously to get recommended and things of that nature. So we really need you guys' help. I know you may not have thought about it when you first came in, but just please take a quick moment, please, and go ahead and hit that like button, all right?
Yeah, hit
all
that
right, go ahead and hit that like button.
And see, this is also why they should hit that like too. Let's just keep it real. Cause see, you just more humble than me, OC. I'm not humble like you. Y'all should hit that like because y'all should know now that we have been trying to tell y'all the truth this whole time. It's pay up time for us. We've been warning about the power dilemma last year. We was talking about this last year. While everybody was talking about we had the number one offense and this and that and the other. We was saying, man, this is going to be hard to win a Super Bowl when you looking at the power dilemma. Yeah, this y'all should like, because guess what? We lost a lot of support because we was saying the truth. We called out the system, called it fool's gold, because a lot of people was, it's the number one offense. Go back and watch that video and we break down clearly how the system broke down in big games. And how it can trick you by thinking that it's more than what it is. Then we did shows, Kellen Moore returns, hot seat rumors, and Jerry Jones disrespected Mike McCarthy. We exposed show after show after show and called in to the fan multiple times to put out there what we were seeing, and them and others not calling out the clear pattern that Hall of Famers was calling out Kellen Moore. All right, as you can see, welcome to Boss Cowboy. Hold on, look.
Okay, what you thinking?
Well, what I'm thinking is, what do you think the Cowboys are going to do about 5 Hall of Famers that literally called out Kellen Moore by name by not targeting his best guy? I want to get thoughts on that.
Talking about all those former players.
Yeah, we deserve them likes. We deserve them likes because we was clearly fighting for the team, bruh. And it's a lot of people, oh, you talking about Kellen Moore? Oh, you talking about Kellen Moore, boss? Okay, I'm going to get off the channel because that's all you do is talk about Kellen Moore. Well, how you feel now? Watching Philly go to the... How you feel? How you feel? Huh?
I feel horrible. That's how I feel.
Right.
I'm keep it honest. I feel completely disgusted and horrible. I feel so horrible and disgusted. I made a video with all the things that we really need to address, key players included, and the changes. And really, why right now we're behind the Philadelphia Eagles, quiet as it's kept. We're behind the Philadelphia Eagles. They made better moves than us. They made better decisions and even draft picks than we made, boss. And that's the truth. But that's tomorrow. You guys will see that all that tomorrow. But I'm saying, I feel horrible.
Dude got me messed up. No. It's time to glow, homie. See, listen, bro. Y'all, listen. He say, boss, let's look forward, not backwards. Now it's not time to gloat. So you think this gloating, bro? So you don't think we supposed to get a reward for standing with a few people to try to warn and talk about what's going to... So we shouldn't get no credit right now? We should just move on? Even though we took all kind of bullets this year, we should not spend a moment saying we was trying to tell people? Okay, so we'll just move on. Cool. We'll just move on.
And thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe Cook, for the $10 super chat, big bro. We appreciate that and your support of the channel. And at the end of the day, man, I understand what you're saying, Joe. But man,
it ain't even gloating. It's not even gloating. Yeah. Gloating ain't the word. The word is people should respect us. I ain't talking about Boss Cowboy Sports. I'm Jay Tuck, the one that sent me this whole clip about Mike McCarthy not being a fan of option routes, and he literally titled it, "Boss, Mike McCarthy is fighting back." This was a community effort. That's why I made sure and gave the community credit because it was really us. And I'm gonna name them West Coast, Jay Tuck. I heard Sky do show after show about Kellen Moore. The mainstream media left us alone. They weren't touching this. Even when Mike McCarthy was even talking straight at Kellen, they laughed. But the people who was warning the whole time was us. That ain't gloating. That's saying you know who you should trust. Okay, hold on real quick. Let me just move on from that because people misunderstanding us, bro.
Let
me just move on from that because I don't have time to be misunderstood. Like this is like a show out period. This ain't no. All right, here we go. This is the thing people should learn though, for sure. Truly, is that our voice matters.
Yep.
So let me slow down on that real quick. And just kind of paint this picture because to a degree he right. That's what this whole show is about in terms of learning from this and getting better from this.
And shout out to Joe Cook, $10 super chat. We won Boston OC. Boston OC, he's gone. Yeah, facts, man. And we appreciate you supporting the channel, man. And hey, at the end of the day,
but we still got to learn from this. We got to learn.
Yeah,
from
we want to
this.
go towards 6, and we go learn. We got a lot to say about that. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, we see. The thing is, don't think that this is about like bragging on the community. This is about learning. That's why we're talking about all the things we should learn from this. The thing that we also got to learn, because a lot of people don't know this, is that truly our voice do matter, bro. Like, and I ain't talking about Boss Cowboy Sports, the brand. I'm talking about us as a community, us as people, and the power of a community voice. So like this. So this January 26th, 3 days ago, I said, keep talking, Cowboy Nation. Your voice matter. Kellen Moore has to go. And yes, front office greatly cares about what and how you feel. They are listening. All right. So This is how I know for a fact that they are listening. Shout out to Pick Six Sports, okay? BJ runs that channel, okay? And this happened. Somebody sent it to me and they said, boss, dog, Joe Owning just said that the Cowboys literally listens to the tweets. And he sent it to me. So I went and checked it out. And sure enough, I'm watching Pick Six Sports and John Owning came on there and he said, most of y'all don't know that the Joneses get a report either every day or every 2 days about what's trending with Cowboy Nation. So if your voice don't matter, why they looking at it every day, OC? Billionaires only look at something with that much detail unless it greatly what?
Matters.
So when I saw this right here, bro, when I saw that he was the top trending conversation, I was like, keep talking. But what does this mean to Joe Cook's point about us moving forward? That's why, to be honest, y'all hear me out. That's why you got to take your voice and movements serious. You with me on that? Go ahead, OC. Did you have something on that?
No, man, I think we good, man. I think we understand and we seeing the power of it, you know, going throughout the season with the implementation of several of the things that we said on this channel and some of the other channels, obviously, that are big in the community. And then also with the firing and this whole situation. And so I think the greater question and what the fans really want to know, Boss Cowboy, is where do we begin to go from here?
We go get there.
What do we do now?
We go get there because I want to be singularly focused on what we need to get from this so that we can go forward smarter and stronger, right? So first, starting with the thought our voice matter, the second thing to learn is let's not make it about credit, because that also stifled good ideas in the community before. People wanting credit or people not helping channels or giving credit to channels. Like, for instance, let me give a perfect example. Everybody know when they hear run the damn ball, who does that refer to?
West Coast.
Okay. So it's a lot of people that saw over time that run the damn ball, especially for 2022, was the perfect temperament. And it was perfect. You could debate Coach Marv and West Coast in 2021. You couldn't debate them in 2022. You couldn't. But because people knew that run the damn ball was going to point to him, they didn't actually even say it. They said, run the ball. We need to run the ball. They never wanted to give him credit for standing out there on run the damn ball. Versus,
and shout out to Coach Moore with the $5 super chat. D. Nassimir, QB coach, gone today, and wide receiver coach should be next.
He should.
That's interesting, Coach Moore.
He should be next.
We'll definitely see how that all plays out. They've been letting go of a lot of people, so we go see.
And Nussmeier gone makes sense. But see, I'm saying this in terms, we got to learn this too. We go talk about the X's and O's. But since we seeing how powerful our voice is together, don't it make sense to talk about things that can hurt our voice? And this hurts our voice. When people want credit over about what's true, it hurts the voice. It does. So like when we was fighting about Lyle Collins versus Steele, we was divided on that. If we would have been together on that, and we would have looked at the evidence and showed respect to each other's differences, we likely could have even won last year. Yeah. So as a community, one thing we gotta learn, and this ain't even content creators, this is us too. It's a lot of people, they want credit. They want to be able to say I was right, that Dak ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about truth. So we can show you Bill Parcells, we can show you Emmitt Smith, we can show you all of this. But when it's not about the truth, when you trying to be right or you worried about your reputation or how you come across in the public, You fight ideas and you muddy up the voice, the combined voices that we should be speaking with together. Because when we were speaking together, it even though they obviously, in my opinion, didn't want to get rid of Kellen Moore, they couldn't. We was together, y'all. We was together.
And shout out to Douglas. Shout out to Douglas Lewis Brooks Jr. with the Big Time Show. $5 super chat. Salute to you, sir. Thank you for watching the show.
Yeah. So, man, but no, that's important though. That's important. That's why you also got to support channels that show integrity, especially in tough times. Can I gloat in that? Can I say that? Can I say that?
The Big Time Show said, "Give me my credit."
Oh yeah, you deserve credit too. Oh, you've been on Kellen Moore head. My bad. Douglas, you've been on day one. You've been day
Coach
one.
Coach Marv said we've been right for 2 years. We've been right about this 2 years ago. That's what Coach Marv said, man. Salute Coach Marv in the building. Yeah, at the end of the day, man, I think that the symbiotic approach about this whole thing and what's going to be best for the team has to be respected, and it has to be looked at as a best. Because here's the thing, that every content creator got to really get, and I don't know if we got that yet, that, man, what's best for the Dallas Cowboys is best for us.
Yeah.
What's best for the Dallas Cowboys is best for our channels, is best for our growth, is best. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody wants to grow their platform and all that stuff. So, but if it's something that's going to hurt the Cowboys, really, it could hurt us. So it is best for us. So Landlord from Alabama with the $5 super chat. What's happening, Boston OC? Big Mike won the fight, bro. He did. It was a drag out, week and a half long fight. But guess what? He came out with a bloody nose and some scars and some friends that he had to fire, but he won this one. so
check
you know what I mean?
OG, like a GOAT in the game. No doubt. Rome is big boy in the game, and he said you're absolutely right, boss. So this is what's gonna happen sometimes to us, me, you, Rome, me, you, Landlord. Every now and then, everybody get prepared for this. Guess what? Every now and then, guess what? We go disagree. I want everybody get ready for that. It's gonna be a day that Rome is gonna disagree with boss, and boss is gonna disagree with Landlord.
And Michael Evans with the 49 super chat. Mike McCarthy cleaning house is a good thing. Word is that Edgar Bennett might be the running back coach.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting.
That's a good one. But see this. But we also talking about what to learn from this. The thing is this: if I disagree with Rome, if I disagree with Landlord, this is one thing we all need to commit to now. Respectful disagreement. Respectful. I'm not going to say Rome is a fanboy. I'm not going to say Landlord, he just like that. I'm going to just say I don't see it like my brother yet. Maybe I need to go talk to him. He might need to convince me on something I don't see. You know what I'm saying? Because if we can combine voices on when somebody is telling the truth, we just see from this that it works. That's all I'm saying. And we need to do that amongst each other. That's one of the things to learn from this.
And Cool G with the $2 super chat. Okay, now Dak has no excuses, right? I don't see it that way. I see it as Dak, he never had no excuses. Dak has never been a guy that's had a lot of excuses or had a lot of rope. If he played well, it was great. It was expected that he played well. If he played poorly, then it was all hell broke loose because he played poorly. So Dak has never been a guy that's had a bunch of rope from A1 day one. From Jerry and them buying in and wanting to truly let go of Romo, and Romo had to do a press conference and hand over the torch back in 2016. From the contract negotiation and the fighting and the continued rising in price of Dak Prescott's number when you could have got him from $28 to $30 million had you signed him 2 years earlier because he was playing that well, and then the waiting to where he averages $40 million per. So Dak has never had an easy road, in my opinion, and there's never been an excuse about Dak. It's been about, do you have the right pieces, and are you making the right decisions as an organization to win games? And that's the whole point of this thing. Siobhan Wilson with the $5 super chat. Boss, I was one of the people that told you that McCarthy was showing Jerry and Steven that he knew what he was doing, and that Kellen Moore wasn't. Yep. Good
Marcus,
super
you
chat,
was,
man.
bro.
Good super chat.
You
Yep.
truly was one of the first, bro, and you was standing alone on that one, dog. You was. Y'all got to give that boy credit for that. He surely has. Listen, and OC, let me show you something about that comment that you just highlighted, bro. Just real quick, I just got to show you something about that comment that you just highlighted. All right, give me
Yeah,
one
no
second.
worries.
I just gotta fix something real quick, then I'm gonna show you something. And
Yeah, no
then-
worries, man. And so, yeah, I'm gonna take a couple of the comments while you do that. Y'all see you wrong. We said the fact that people disagree, that's a part of the game. Facts.
That's part of the game.
2000%.
Yep.
Yeah, Lando show in the building. He said, Boss Cowboy, never introduced myself, but always been following you from afar. I admire your work. You and Cowboy Fan Talk band together.
Oh,
All right,
yeah,
Lando
I'm
show.
already
We
with
appreciate
him.
you, man.
We already
Yeah,
together.
man. Yeah, man. And salute
that's
to
my
you, man.
dog.
Thank you so much for getting
Yeah.
in the building.
That's my homie,
Yeah,
bro.
absolutely,
For
man.
real.
Michael Evans with another $4.99 super chat. Now we know the front office is dead serious about getting better. And that's a great point. And that's my point of this. That's what I get out of this the most, that they understand that we're dealing with a window. We're dealing with a time window. And in every team and every good team anyway, you deal with a time window. And you got to get it done in that time window before you got to start to rebuild. Deshauna Duncan.
Okay, I'm ready now.
Yeah.
I got it ready.
Sorry, Boston OC, just jumped on, and I would like to say, and like I said, like we've all said, the front office and the whole Dallas Cowboy staff listens in. Okay,
They do.
Shannon, I think they do.
Somebody listen.
I think they do. I agree with
Somebody.
that.
Now
Yeah,
check this
somebody
out.
is.
This is what I want to address, OC. Like this dude said, no more excuses. Bring in the new OC. So look at his profile picture, OC.
Yeah, let me get the super chat before we even get on that.
Yeah.
Cool G, $5 super chat. Last time I checked, Jerry's the GM, right? Our Cowboys won't win a Super Bowl as long as Jerry is the GM. I don't know. It depends on how much power he exerts as a GM. You got Will McClay in the building. You got Mike McCarthy in the building. And with this firing, you may have a voice of reason now because of his age. Phil Henderson with the $20 holler. We appreciate you, brother, for the $20 super chat. Fellas, I said on the day we hired Kellen Moore, Jerry Jones made a serious mistake. We had a legitimate chance to win it all, but his jacked up play calling was holding us back. Now, who will be Dak's QB coach? Yeah, and I want to answer that for you on who I think it should be in a second, Philip. I really, in my opinion, I would love to see Brian Leftwich in here, the fired OC from Tampa Bay, to give you one idea on no Boss Cowboy.
Bring Kidner back. Just bring Kidner back.
And that's where I was going next. Kidner was awesome.
Yeah.
Kidner was awesome. Bring Kidner back. Yeah, he had the connection with Dak. It worked very well. But if you got to go outside, I think Leftwich is a good ideal. But Kidner did a great job with the facts. Big facts.
All right, so let me address this real quick. This dude said, no more excuses. Bring in a new OC. All right, so West Coast says something, and this is what we all got to recognize. Sometimes we talk high-level football to some people who don't even care or want it. Okay? So this dude profiles a picture of Dak as a clown. All right? and is an alleged Cowboys fan. There is no amount of logic that will ever reach these types. Nothing.
And Jamin Cowell, I'm not talking about Kidner as an OC, just strictly as an OC coach. I know as a QB coach, I know he's not an OC. I was talking about strictly a QB coach. I was answering that question. Go ahead, boss.
So it is nothing you can do with these types. So the West Coast said it like this. I think it was the perfect way to say it. When you see these types say no more excuses for Dak, so excuses to these types mean that they basically just ignore facts. You know what I mean? These are just the type of people that's going to ignore facts, you know, because they just want to attack Dak. So sadly, this is a lot of Cowboy fans in our community. It's no way to get rid of them. They like to tear that's gonna grow amongst the wheat. They just go be there. It's just part of being a fan base that's too big. All right, but let's get into some more of the bigger stuff though. Forget them trolls.
Yep.
So we talked about less about credit and more about truth. So let's make a commitment today to make sure that even when we disagree, that we show respect to each other so that we can because I feel like the OC and I are perfect examples of that. Boy, if y'all ever watch me and the OC fight, boy, it be real. And sometimes, frankly, it's bloody. Sometimes it get nasty. The dude done called me a fanboy. I'm still low-key mad at that. I'm like, bro, you got me so messed up. You got me so messed up. But it's one thing about the fights that we have. It's always fighting about the best idea. And once it kind of solidifies and we get through, like what Rome say, you got to have that friction. But once after that friction it settles, this is what I know about the OC and this is what I know about me. We're going to go to the side where the evidence fell.
Mm-hmm.
So, but real quick, this is another thing that we need to learn. The war was always real. But we weren't listening to them. So a lesson from this, we need to listen when they talking. It's a lot of us talked ourselves out of them telling us the whole truth. Hey, don't make the mistake of calling me a fanboy.
Hey, boss, not to cut you off. I gotta get Reaper with his comment. This is funny. He said OC saying Boss is a fanboy, but Boss gives OC non-stop audio sounds. That's 100% correct. You talking about you hitting the buttons on me? That's 2,000% correct, bro. Salute. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, boss. Hold on 1 second. But 1 second, boss. $5 Dwayne Moore super chat. What people don't get is this is not about Dak. It's not about any QB that comes in here to start. Q-Dog with a $2 super chat. I like Leftwich. Kidna is dealing with his son. Okay, I didn't know what was going on with Kidna or his son. I have no idea what's going on with his son.
Rose say, bro, them type of people sit at the kids' space table. They not allowed over with adults. Facts. For real, though. And that's how we got to treat them types. No more excuses for Dak. Bro, if you don't go sit your stupid... All right, another lesson. Now, this is important because this goes into a pattern of the Dallas Cowboys. Coaches over players. Players are fired first, then coaches. There's a pattern of that with the Dallas Cowboys that we got to talk about. Mm-hmm. So the pattern is a lot of times you'll see the players telling the truth, but they'll get fired. So do you remember Dez came out, he was talking about Scott Linehan plays was predictable, but he said we were smart and we was going to figure it out. Mm-hmm. Who got fired?
Dez.
Okay. And then they rolled out without Dez with receiver by committee. Then who got fired? Scott
Linehan.
So then let's look at the history again. The players was coming out and they was talking about Mike Nolan. You remember that, OC?
Mm-hmm.
Who got fired first?
I think a couple players did.
We lost some players. Okay, we lost Poe. Remember? They got rid of...
right.
Yeah, they got rid of Poe. They got rid of... what's your boy that came from... had the big eyes, played defensive end for us?
Shoot. I know who you're talking about.
From Minnesota. Come on, y'all. Help me out. Help me out. Help me out.
He's a good veteran player.
Yeah.
Reaper said to your point, Boss Cowboy, he said that's why Dak's so quiet. He don't want to get fired. He said that's why Dak don't say nothing.
Can we go get into this? Because a lot getting ready to get a lot better with the Dallas Cowboys. But what's his name, bro? You know what I'm talking about. He played defense. Griffin. It was Griffin. So they got rid of Griffin. They got rid of Poe. Remember we had that safety.
Clint Dix.
And we even got rid of the man of the year, Carr.
Yeah, that's right, Brandon Carr. Irene Garcia with the 199 super chat. Salute. Thanks, Irene. Appreciate the super chat.
So as I'm looking at this, there's a pattern. Coaches and bad coaches are over players. See, sometimes this is what I wish the Dallas Cowboys would figure out sometime. Sometimes your players telling you the truth first, not last. First. Dez was telling you the truth first. Brandon Carr, especially Brandon Carr, a man of the year, speaking out on Mike Nolan. No, he was right first, but he got fired first. You know what I'm saying? So then, let's go to now. Who was the victim of this now?
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper, who was speaking out about the lack of targets. Who did we need versus San Fran when Mr. CeeDee Lamb was getting them doubles? Who would have likely opened that game wide open?
We would have beat them by 2 touchdowns if we had Amari Cooper. Straight up. A healthy Amari Cooper.
Straight up.
We would have beat them by 2 touchdowns.
Straight up.
Because they couldn't roll coverage. They couldn't roll coverage like that.
So like old boy said, Cook said, this ain't a time to gloat. This is a time for solutions. This is what we doing. Right? So we looking back to say, okay, what can we learn from this, and what do you know about your organization? So what is this preparing for? Because this is not gonna be the only fire that's gonna happen within this organization. It's gonna be future fires. Sometimes when we start hearing whispers from players, what is that telling us, OC?
It's really saying that it's a problem.
Yep.
If you hear players get to the point where they whispering to the media, that's really a bad sign, because it's saying that their coaches are not listening to them.
Right.
And so it's like an outlet.
It's an outlet.
You know,
yep.
that's really like, you know, your kid telling a teacher on you. You know, if a kid tells you, if your son or daughter tells a teacher on you, man, they're looking for an outlet because they ain't listening. You're not listening to them. So that's the whole issue. What it is, because it's a psychology to this whole thing, man. People are people, and with the immense pressure that's on these players, they have to at least feel like that they're heard.
Right.
But yeah, boss, we want to transition a little bit and answer some of these questions about possible solutions and where we go.
I promise we go in there, OC. Don't bow down to the crowd. Trust me, I got that in here. They want us to give away the content for free. You gotta come back and get a second video on. No, we got you. Trust me, that's my last bullet. Because it's a lot of football stuff gonna come out of this. But y'all gotta know this too. Shoot. You got to know this too. If you don't know this, when your organization starts ignoring smoke in the future, you'll fall for it. So yes, we go slow it down and say, what can we learn from this? You know what I mean? When you see all of these Hall of Famers speaking out, that's matching your player. This is what you learn from this. Have the players back.
Oh, and this is a real good point Michael Evans brought out. He said, don't forget about Cole Beasley, Roy Williams, and Bryce Butler getting let go for speaking out.
Yeah.
That's true. Really good point. Good catch.
Yeah.
Good catch. Good catch and good point, man.
So since we know our voice matter, we also got to learn how to be smarter on reading the tea leaves, because we see the pattern. So when you see smoke into the future, don't ignore it. That's what we got to learn from it. Now we getting ready to get into football stuff. Now we go.
Q-Dog with $5 super chat. Boston OC. I just realized all Garrett, Jones, and Mike guys are gone. Only Dan Quinn guys remain. Coincidence? I think not. Something smells. Okay, Q-Dog. We're gonna talk about that. And then 1 second. Hold on. William Blackwell with the $9.99 super chat. Boss OC. Shout out to y'all for being the biggest voice on this. Yeah, salute William Blackwell, and thank you so much, man, for the super chat and for supporting the channel the way that you do, my brother. We really appreciate you. Yeah, they're saying that they're in favoritism and they believe that the defense is the strongest unit. They are giving, and they should, I think, to a degree, Dan Quinn more carte blanche to even strengthen this defense. So look for this defense in particular to get some really, really good fresh meat talent in here from that draft, and even a couple key pieces for free agency. That's my opinion. Coach Moore with the $5 super chat. Quinn has locked down the whispers on defense. Now the offense needs that trust. It's true, Coach Marv, true, and salute. And we gonna see what happens with this. We got a lot more content on this. We gonna give a little bit today, but it's so much, man.
It's
we
a
can't
lot of
do
football
all this tonight.
It's a lot of good football gonna come from this. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I already know what it is. I'm gonna give y'all a clue. West Coast is coming. West Coast is coming. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yep.
That's what you get. Ooh, I'm gonna show you all the proof on that, and it's gonna work too. I ain't worried about
crazy.
that. It's gonna work like crazy.
Like
y'all,
crazy.
boy, y'all. If wait. Now we get to talk football. Y'all been waiting on this. Here we are. We finally here. Cowboys made a football decision. This was a football decision.
1 second, boss. William Blackwell, $9.99 super chat. Thanks, brother. I honestly believe Quinn came back because he knew Kellen was on his way out.
There you go. Let's talk about it. And that's where this bullet is. Let's talk about that right there, boy. Blackwell, you own it. So if we go back and think about and remember what they said about Scott Linehan, why did they fire Scott Linehan? I can go pull it because it came out of Jane Slater. She said they said, okay, this is what happened. What happened was they went back and they talked to the players. So they went back and they was doing like more research on the pulse of the locker room. And the players was saying that they felt like if you got on Scott Linehan's bad side, that he basically held it against you. So likely what happened with Kellen Moore, that's why his firing took longer than the other ones, is he obviously had allies in the building, so they had to do, internal research. I think partially that was talking to Dan Quinn about his defense not being protected by the style of offense. You know what I'm saying?
Q-Dog with the $5 super chat. Boss, you played defense. I guarantee that Quinn didn't like all that 50-second offense.
Yes!
I promise you, when the Jones asked him, he said, bye, Kellen. All right, overflowing toxicity as Marquise Hartington, $4.99 super chat. Dallas is so petty. Dropping this news when Philly wins the conference championship. Petty.
No, that's good.
As Shadicki.
I like the pettiness. I love the pettiness. We stole their headlines. Yes.
Richard Coleman with the $1.99 super chat.
I love it.
Dan came back to be the head coach. That's interesting. And we're going to talk about that probably later this week. Maybe, perhaps.
We might talk about that tomorrow. That's a whole talk in itself that's going to take an hour. But going back to this is about football, y'all. Y'all should be feeling better about your organization right now, man. Let's be honest. Because I know a lot of us are jaded because it's been 27 years since we had a Super Bowl appearance. But hey, man, they let go of a dude they ain't want to let go, bro. Somebody made a football decision, and I think it was Jerry Jones.
And boss, something that we had not touched on and nobody has really said or recognized, not to the extent I'm about to tell you right now. They made a financial decision because they cost Kellen Moore, he cost the Cowboys money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He cost them money in terms of Amari Cooper, a wasted player. That's a Pro Bowl player. And wait a second. He cost them even more money, Boss Cowboy, with almost now 2 wasted draft picks. Cool G, $2 super chat. Dak still has to protect the pigskin. He does. But let me tell you about the wasted capital. You see Simi Fooka, smart wide receiver, Stanford grad. You telling me that you couldn't find a way to get him involved in this offense? 6'3", 230, ran a 4.4. Why? Because he couldn't get with your system? What about our 3rd round draft pick, boss, who did not hit the field, boss?
Mm-hmm.
They wasted a year of collateral, and collateral is money, and money is important because you cannot waste draft picks because the Cowboys build through the draft. Coach Moore, Boss OC, do y'all think Quinn stay to the Jones, me, or Kellen? I don't understand that, Coach Marv. I'm sorry. Q-Dog with $2 super chat. Lack of complimentary football cost Dan a job. I don't know if it cost him a job. I think he could have left if he wanted to leave, Q-Dog. William Blackwell with the $9.99 super chat. Do y'all think him putting Zeke at center was the last straw for Jerry in front office? Because it was for me.
I think it was the attempts. I think it was the attempts, man. Because see, they all was talking about, I can show you clips of Steven and Jerry talking about wanting to see more rushing attempts, and they want to see us more around 60-40. and then we come out and we only get 22 attempts versus San Fran, and then you go over and you watch Philly get 44 with less of an average and blow them out. That's what did it. They announced it after that, bro. That's when they announced it, bro. If that was any time Jerry finally blew his lid, because they've been telling Kellen, I got proof that they've been telling Kellen that. They both said they want to see us more of a team that resembles San Fran in terms of the commitment to the run. And though
not to cut you off.
Yeah,
not to cut you off, boss. They Walker Vaughn, $5 super chat. Kellen Moore destroyed two Super Bowl runs, cost Jerry Jones money, especially with Zeke. Yeah, I agree with that. 110%, my friend. I agree with that. And then I bring it IT with the $2 super chat. The Joneses were humbled by the Eagles' success. I absolutely agree with that. And that's something. That's something that I'm gonna be talking about tomorrow. That's something I'm gonna talk about tomorrow.
So this is the thing, bro. This is the thing. This is also easy to see. When did we sign T.Y. Hill? No, see.
At the tail end of the season, when we knew we were going to sign Odell Beckham.
And we did it the day after James Washington had his debut game.
And when he gave up, got hit, came out the game, and never came back. That was ridiculous.
And then notice, once T.Y. got going, who did we fire? James Washington. So what's my point of bringing that up? You get a real clue of how we think based on timing, right? So isn't it funny that we see 22 attempts from us, and now it was a deliberation, OC. They was deliberating about the future of OC, right? Of the OC. Then San Fran, right when they finished playing, and you see 44 attempts with less of an average, but obviously a bigger commitment, and you see them blow out the team that actually destroyed them, and that actually did what you've been telling Kelly. You don't think that the timing, bro? It's like I need a button that say you played yourself. You know what I'm saying? I need that button. You played yourself. Kellen Moore,
Trey Fargo with the $2 super chat. If San Fran won, you think Kellen Moore would still be here?
Probably.
I don't think he would be. William Blackwell with the $9.99 super chat.
I think it's a chance. I think it's a chance.
Facts ball. So we owe this to Philly now. We really ready to beat the hell out of them, because we all know we wouldn't have beat Philly today. I don't know. I think that we would have gave Philly a run for their money, but we never know because we didn't pass San Fran. I think we would have gave Philly a run for their money today. I think we were the better matched up team, to be honest with you.
And they defense, to be honest, is the worst type of defense versus option routes. See, with the option routes go work on Philly, it would have worked like amazing, because they basically line up in a zone, so it's easy to read. It's an easier read. They don't do a bunch of disguises. You know what I mean? That's why Dak went 24-24. The sad part about option routes, it was dependent mostly against the coordinator you was going against, not even the talent on the field.
Cool, Mickey. I misunderstood. Thank you, Mickey.
Yeah. So, but this is the thing. This is why this is exponentially good, because a lot of y'all have been trying to get us to get to the football parts of this. All right, so we at the football parts. Let me tell you what's getting ready to happen. First of all, we likely getting ready to go to more of a West Coast style offense. Okay, and Mike McCarthy himself said that he preferred the West Coast system because the quarterback decision making is all on the quarterback, and he believes that perfect feet work mixed with the ability of the receiver, there's no coverage that can beat a perfectly executed West Coast offense. That is the philosophy of Mike McCarthy. So the fact that he is
Boss Cowboy, Philip Henderson with the $10 super chat. I believe Bill Parcells' comments got Kellen Moore fired. That's interesting. Jerry respects Bill. We have 5 number 1 draft picks on this offense. You know this offense should be prolific. Dan Q has 3 number 1s on the defense. Great comment, Philip. I like that. I think that, Jerry has pride, and I think your comment makes sense in the sense that Jerry don't like to be a laughing stock. He don't want to be the laughing stock or nothing. He got ego. So when Bill put that out there and all these people put that out there, I think that does weigh on his head a little bit, man. I think it does. So go ahead, boss.
I think it has something to do with it, but I think it was more so Philly.
Yeah.
I think it was more so Philly. Because, see, if I think it's Bill Parcells, what's the real difference between Bill Parcells and then Troy Aikman saying it last year loud? The playmaker saying it loud. What's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Kurt Warner saying it loud. Like, they ignored all of them last year. Jimmy Johnson said it loud. You know what I mean? Now, Bill Parcells, I know, like Emmett said it loud. So all last year, you had all these gold jacket guys literally saying Kellen Moore by name. Bill Parcells said it last week. And what did they still say? We're evaluating Kellen Moore. So
Joey Coco 99 with the $30 super chat. Salute to you, brother. Good news for today with that boy being sent out of here. Who do y'all see us getting in the draft on defense? Parson needs a lot of help, and CeeDee Lamb needs help. I'm still pissed about the game last week, but this news helps. Yes, this news helps, and I'm very
that wasn't
about
who y'all see getting in the draft. Damn.
Man, we got a whole bunch of content
agency
coming on the
dog.
draft. Yeah,
Let's get through
we
free
got a
agency
whole
first.
bunch of content coming on the draft. But no, I think that you're probably going to get a linebacker. I'm going to answer it in brief, okay? I think you're probably going to get a linebacker. I think you also need to try to get one of the better, more talented players that are available on the defensive line, because I think some of the guys on this defense may be interchangeable parts and people that you let go. In terms of offense, you just need weapons. I think if you don't use Turpin, I think we need a slot. We need another running back. And we need a wiggly slot. That's what I think we need. A wiggly slot that runs a 4-3 or less. That's what I think we need. All right. And then, hey, Boston OC, when should we expect to see Steele be ready to play after surgery? You know, this training facility of the Cowboys, this rehab center, they do wonders on pushing boys back out into the field. I think that you'll probably see him game 4 or 5 because of how they go push him. But I think that he's not going to really look like himself to close to the end of the year. That'll be my opinion.
So, all right. So let's get see. This is big in terms of the football decisions that's in this that I don't know if a lot of people seeing. This is the big thing about us moving away from Kellen Moore. When you move away from Kellen Moore, guess who else you go likely get an uptick in? Just keeping it real. You already just said it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See, now you getting ready to see Tolbert. You will also be able to see guys y'all been begging for. Who we been begging for? Who we been begging for, OC?
Tolbert.
Yeah.
And Turpin.
And Turpin.
Yeah, use the speed. Use the speed. Yeah. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Everybody been saying, why don't we see Turpin? See, now we got to break down what this means. See, when you get rid of Kellen Moore and you get rid of a system that was aggressive option routes, now your athletes can now just be athletes. They don't have to be doctors and PhDs. They don't have to be quarterbacks. They can just go get it. See, that was one of the worst things about the option route system and multiple people running option routes. That's also why Mike McCarthy said, if you go run it, you need to live in that world. He was basically telling Kellen Moore, you're in a fairy tale, son. So
exactly.
Go ahead, OC, explain that.
He was saying, hey, if you're gonna run it, you gotta live in that world. Because basically, if you're not fully committed to running option routes, then you're gonna confuse the crap out of everybody because you're using it on too many targets.
Yeah.
That's basically what he was saying without saying it, which turned out to be 100% true.
True. And so everybody was sitting back. Why was we not seeing Tolbert? Is he a bust? No. Your OC system was asking for too much. So a lot of Cowboys people saying, what? I mean, Turpin is clearly good in space. They can't run one play to create space for him. One? Now you getting ready to see it. And now this is also what's going on that a lot of people ain't put it together. it's a merging of two heavyweight coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got Dan Quinn mixed with Mike McCarthy, the play caller. This is where we got to talk about this too. That's super important when we talk about the heavyweight of Mike McCarthy. Don't believe the Green Bay hate hype. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Don't believe the Green Bay hate hype, because I already know what some of y'all saying. But they were saying he was getting a lot of massages over there at Green Bay. They were saying Aaron Rodgers thought he was dumb, boss. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is arrogant. Aaron Rodgers is a little arrogant dude, man. It's just, you got to understand that. Number one.
Number one.
So if you're dealing with it,
go ahead, because I got something.
If you're dealing with an arrogant player, and there a lot of times it's yin and yang. These great quarterbacks, some of them can be real arrogant and become almost narcissistic, right? You see a lot of it, man. You see it with Tom Brady. He comes in and tells coaches what to do. He'll get a coach fired. He'll run over you and implement his system if he don't like the plays you're calling and they don't make him feel comfortable. That's a part of what makes them great. It doesn't mean that the coach is dumb. It just means that the personality is super dominant. Go ahead, boss.
And see, Mickey say, facts, I've heard it already. Cause see, listen, bro, let me explain what's going on. It's called the wee woo. Listen.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
See, what's going on is I already knew it was coming, Mickey. I already knew what they gonna start trying to paint a narrative is that McCarthy was fired out of Green Bay because he was incompetent. That's what they go try. But let's just use our common sense, okay? Let's just use our common sense. How many times, just pause and think about when Mike McCarthy was at Green Bay versus Dallas. Did in any one of those games versus us, did we ever call Mike McCarthy stupid?
Never. And then real quick, Boss Cowboy, let's take a like break. Hey, we got 527 of you guys in the building. We really appreciate you guys, but we got less than 300 likes. We need you guys to help us out. Take a minute. You probably forgot. You're getting excited about this whole announcement, but just smash that like button, man, okay? And if you hadn't followed us already, subscribe to the channel. Turn on your bell notification icons for the latest and greatest in Cowboy sports and news. It means a lot to the channel. Helps us to get recommended and seen so the whole world can get content and insight about Dallas Cowboys football and sports. So, look, hit the like button real quick, please. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, man. Please hit that like button. Yeah. Man, look at this dude, man. You can always tell when them dudes in the Romo coat. Man, that dudes is so weird, bro. Don't kick him out either. I want him to stay. Don't kick him out.
No.
They so weird. Listen, I shouldn't say this, but I almost hate y'all, bro.
Hey, no, boss. But we don't wait. Look, we got stuff to talk about. We can't waste airtime on that, man.
All right, cool, man. I'm finna earn that dude. Ooh, boy, you already saw it coming.
Oh, hell
You saw it coming, OC. The OC, like, let me calm down, boss. I was getting ready to slap the smoke off that dude.
Oh, hell no.
Thank you, OC. Matter of fact, elaborate a little bit, just for a second.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, when you got Mike McCarthy, you got a veteran, championship level coach, man, that you put back in the saddle. And one thing that Mike McCarthy is not gonna do, he's not gonna do the kind of stuff that you saw Kellen Moore do, go spread and empty on 2nd and 2. You're not gonna see.
Right, you're not gonna see that.
You're not gonna see play action pass when you're on the 3-yard line. Like, and your quarterback's feet is in his end zone. He's catching a ball from a shotgun snap halfway in his own end zone, and it's first down. And you're trying to go play action pass with your feet in your own end zone. That's called giving the team a safety. So you're going to see a lot of responsible play calling. You're going to see common sense football. I'm not saying Mike McCarthy is perfect. and he is, some miracle worker, but you go see sound fundamental stuff. And here's the thing that you go see above anything else with Mike McCarthy. This is why you should be excited. You're going to see matchup football. You're going to see him matchups. That's what you're going to see. You're going to start to see some matchup football. So it's easy. Let me break it down. You don't even have to know football to get what I'm saying. You go look. You can do this if you play like football in the backyard during your barbecues or during Christmas or Thanksgiving, and you do volleyball games or whatever. You just do this. You say, okay, listen, check this out, y'all. Check this out.
Tell him.
This guy. Tell him, OC. Tell him, boss. Wait a minute, boss. This guy right here is slow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then it's a guy on my team. He's really fast. So then what I'm gonna do is put this fast guy on this slow guy, and I'm gonna have him run around and throw him the ball because I know my fast guy go beat this slow guy, and then we go win. That's it. There it is. Matchup football, simplified, 1-on-1. That's matchup football. And that's what you're going to see a lot more. You're going to see a whole lot more of that with Mike McCarthy.
Clap it up for the OC. Hold on. Oh, Lord. I got to hit this button about 3 times. I'm sorry, y'all. I know some of y'all hate effects, but
the OC.
No emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
Oh.
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
Oh, you get ready to see it. One more time. I got another one. Let's go.
The OC.
Come on now. Come on. Y'all
no emotions,
clap it up.
No friends.
Clap
no
it
loyalty.
up. No loyalty.
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
Your cars.
Ooh, clap it up, man. Y'all get ready to see exactly what the OC just said. Man, listen, this is good, y'all. See, think about it, and let's just think about it real quick. Think about the fact that Kellen Moore's system was why Stephen Jones got up and said that Amari didn't get his targets. Do y'all remember that? That was basically saying we're going with the mind of our OC over playmakers. Those days are now over. So guess what? That also means we now know we gotta go with playmakers. All this, let's go get Dennis Houston, because anybody can run this system. Let's go get, James Washington, because all that appeasing to the cheapness of Stephen Jones, that's over. Can you expound on that some more, OC?
Well, before I do, I will. Stargazer Sports with a $9.99 super chat. Salute to you. Didn't DQ have one of the worst defenses in ATL before he was fired mid-season? My point, coaches can evolve. Mike is going to take this offense to a new level. 2,000% agree with you, Stargazer Sports. And I think that coaches are smart. This is what you don't understand. These guys live, breathe, and walk, sleep, and you know what, football. If you get fired from a job, you don't think that you go be in your head for months about what went wrong, about what you could have did, and you not go study and try to get better, right? You don't think you gonna make self-corrections and this is your job? Kevin Garnett, X4 for the Celtics, man, he said something when he was injured. He came back and the Celtics won an NBA championship. And somebody was asking him, well, man, you came back, you did good, you had some good moves, and you dunked and you had a step back jumper. And he looked at the reporter and he said something I never forgot. He looked at him, boss, and he said, I'm a professional. I'm a professional. He was saying, I do this. I live this. This is my life. This ain't no pickup game for me. I'm a professional. These coaches are professionals, and that's what you got to get and see and understand. And so you're not going to see as much discount shopping, because in order to be competitive and to get butts in seats and to keep us engaged, they're going to have to spend some money and make some moves. And I talk a lot about that in the video you're going to see tomorrow. But I'm telling you, boss, this is all good news.
My boy William say, boss, you producing your ass off right now. Hey man, I appreciate you seeing the production value, bro. Cause listen, it's not easy to be producing and keeping up with the OC's brain at the same time. It's hard enough to keep up with him, pay attention to him, cause he's so smart. You can miss something. So but then I appreciate you recognizing that the production value we try to bring.
And Nick J with the $5 super chat, Boss Cowboy. People don't understand McCarthy is low key a QB whisperer. Ooh, that's true. That's true, Nick. That's true.
Clap it up for Nick.
Look at all the QBs he's coached. Hall of Famers. Can't wait to see what happens. Great comment, Nick. Great comment. Nick, that's the comment of the show. He is a QB whisperer.
Clap it up for him one more time? Just one more OC. That's
all.
He deserves a major hand
great
clap.
comment.
Come on. We got to give it to him.
Great comment, Nick. Fantastic. That's awesome comment.
See, this is what we looking at, y'all, man. Like, listen, yes, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Stephen Jones threw away the last two major contending teams on betting on Kellen Moore. I just got to be honest on what he did. He dropped the ball tremendously because all these people was calling out Kellen Moore after the first playoff loss. You know what I mean? So basically, we saw close to the same type of fiasco where he got pass happy again, only attempted to rush the ball 22 times versus San Francisco. We saw the same things. So yes, it was wasted, but now we seeing something different. We seeing a true running back, but a better version of running back. We saying, all right, let's go get the old Jedis. So now this is what you get with Mike McCarthy. You get a veteran Jedi who been in a whole bunch of wars, what we would call a guy that got what? Skins on the wall, right?
Skins on the wall.
And you got two guys now that have each other's back to an exponential level. See, people are really devaluing the union that just happened between a good marriage versus an arranged marriage. These guys chose each other. Can we say that again? They chose each other out of love, OC. Can we say that? They chose each other, dog. This other stuff was an arranged marriage where it was some people that came together and said, you're getting ready to marry Kellen Moore. No, Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy both came together and said, I do. For the run. I want our legacies to be built on the Dallas Cowboys and this brand. It's going to take us to highs we've never seen. We both got Super Bowls, but we want to be super legendary. And the way that you become exponentially legendary is you own this moment and you take control of it. That's why I said the other day that actually the OC, you had to come in of the week where you said, Dak, don't take control. No, you said don't be accountable to where you don't have control. And Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn took control back. See, let me just give a backstory on this, because maybe some people don't know this, but it fully relates. Last year, Dan Quinn almost got away. He did. And he almost got away because of Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones went and publicly, he allegedly offered him the job behind the scenes, but then made the critical mistake because he was angry and said it publicly. When he said it publicly, he knew that Jerry potentially created a hostile work environment for himself. So out of respect, he went to Mike McCarthy and he said, Mike, what's going on is crazy, man. Just let me know. Do you want me to go take one of these jobs? Do you want me to go take one of these offers that's sitting on my table right now? Mike McCarthy said, baby, speaking in a metaphor, okay, so just hear me out. He said, baby, I love you. I want you. I want to marry you. Back in the day when I was a young player and a young stud, I wouldn't have seen your value. But because I'm a mature Jedi Knight and I know the value of having a person like you on my staff, I'm going to overlook the insult of Jerry Jones and I'm going to do what's best for us and our legacies, and I do choose to marry you. Oh my!
Salute. Big facts, man. So I think that, man, we headed in the right direction, guys. And you know, at the end of the day, man, we're gonna build around the two masterminds that should be in charge for this team, Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn. No one else.
Right.
Those are the two masterminds that should be in the driver's seat to make the primary decisions for this team. All right, but one thing, guys, you got to come back. You got to hit the subscribe button. You got to turn on the bell notification icons because, man, we can't cover all this in one night. Man, it's headed toward 11 o'clock.
Yeah, bro.
So we go get out of here in a second. Okay, we go get out of here in a second, boss. But hey, man, you guys come back and keep it locked, man, for real.
Yeah,
because we got a lot to say.
We do got a lot to say, not for real. And then we go take calls too. We ain't take calls in a while. My phone system should be working by the next time we get up and going. But I do want to kind of give everybody a fair warning, if that's okay, OC. I want to give everybody a fair warning. Don't fall for this, because this is what's going to likely happen. Under Mike McCarthy, you're not going to have a high-paced offense like you saw under Kellen Moore. So we are going to be winning games, but we're not going to be on top of the stat sheet. We're not going to be like number one offense and all that kind of stuff, which is low-key artificial. Because you can be number one based on your style of offense, not necessarily based on your effectiveness of your offense. Right. So for instance, if you're in a pass-happy league that got a lot of tempo, that's getting a lot of attempts, you should have more yards than a team that's establishing a run. But see, like for instance, you might see San Fran, let's say they kind of mid-tier in terms of total offense, but you can't deny their dominance when they was rolling on the ground. But the issue is they got way less attempts, right? So don't fall for the hate that's going to be happening against Mike McCarthy, because they going to try to say, did the Cowboys make the right decision by going with Mike McCarthy over Kellen? Because Kellen, he did have the number one offense and all this kind of stuff. It's going to be like, no, but it was falling flat on big games. Give me a medium offense in terms of being able to control the ball, control the clock, slow the game down. I don't need you to be topping stats. I need you to be topping big games and wins. That's what I want. So I'm preparing y'all early for likely what's going to happen before it happens. So I'm telling you right now, they going to be hating. It's going to be a lot of slick shots and wee-woo. Get ready for it.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee-woo.
OC, what you got? Closing this out, big dog.
Hey, man, listen, man. Hey, thank you guys for staying with us. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Don't forget to hit the like button before you get out of the building. If you have not subscribed already, what in the world are you waiting for, man? Hit the subscribe button. Turn on your bell notification icons. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can even follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. Thanks you all for these super chats this evening. Appreciate the support. It does help the channel, does help us continue to push and grow. Thanks all of you guys that put money into the Cash App, $ Boss Cowboy Sports. We appreciate it so much. Thank you guys for the support. And keep it locked, man. We got a lot of content coming, man, in the coming weeks and days. And so you don't want to miss one video. So turn on your bell notification icons. And, hey, man, we signing out. And we'll catch up with you soon. Later.
Run it up, big dog. We got a lot of work to do, man.
Run it up, baby.
We going to be breaking this down, y'all.
Run it up.
Another one.
OC ain't lying.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
Stay with us.
Where your voice matters.
Run it up.
Stay with us, man. For real.
Another one.
Bringing real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
Run it up.
Let's go.
I need the cash pronto. I don't throw interceptions like Romo.
No more interceptions like Romo. That option route is gone.
I need the cash pronto. I don't throw interceptions like Romo.
Dak will be back to normal Dak.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
One more time in case you ain't heard it. The interception days are over.
I need the cash pronto. I don't throw interceptions like Romo.